Spencer Engel here, Velocity Financial, and let's find out, is it really cheaper to pay a rent on a single-family home or pay the mortgage on a single-family home in the greater Phoenix area? Okay, I've taken the information, I've compiled it together for you, and I want to make an apples-to-apples comparison against the average rent out here versus what you could buy for a house for that same amount of money you're spending every month. The average rent right now as of last month is $1,237 a month, $1,240 a month essentially. Okay. And the question is, if a monthly rental payment of $1,237 turn it to a monthly mortgage payment, how much would that home cost to buy, and what kind of home would it be? What kind of home can you get for that kind of payment every month? The first thing you got to answer is what type of financing tool you're going to use. Let's go ahead and use the most common financing tool, which is the FHA guaranteed loan. Okay, so we're going to basically take an FHA purchase scenario, and we're going to figure out how much house can I buy with an FHA loan and still come out with a $1,240 a month payment. Okay, on FHA loans, it includes FHA mortgage insurance. It's got a 3.5% down payment requirement, but all of your closing costs up to 6% of the purchase price can be paid for by the seller, and we'll get into that later. The rates are right around 4%, 3.99 is what I'm locking a lot of deals at on a 30-year fixed loan. And the other thing that we need to do is estimate for taxes, homeowners insurance, and homeowners association dues. At $1,500 per year is a conservative guess for property taxes, $480 per year for homeowners insurance, and $300 per year for HOA dues. And that's a fairly good average to look at. And what you get here on the breakdown is that with your principal, interest, property taxes, mortgage insurance, at $190,000 purchase price, you get a payment of $1,215. Okay. Then you're also going to figure that you got $300 a month in HOA dues in this example. So add $25 a month to that equation for a grand total mortgage payment of $1,240 per month. Also, the other thing to keep in mind is that the private mortgage insurance, you see that down on the bottom left there, that $176 a month will go away automatically in 10 years, and sooner. If you've got a 25% equity position in that property, you might be able to get your lender to allow you to drop your mortgage insurance. They'll have to ask you for details on that. The other thing I like to remind buyers of is that there are, as opposed to renting, some additional costs. You want to make sure and have a fund set aside to fix things that break, okay? So you want to factor in those home maintenance costs and also HOA dues. Now, I mentioned HOA dues before already, but I also mentioned the average. The average runs between $25 and $50 a month, and that covers regular things like resealing the street or painting the fences or whatever. But some HOAs offer things like nice swimming pools and lots of landscaping that need to be cared for, or maybe they've got a fitness center with a racquetball court or something like that. So those HOAs will have higher costs. The HOA fees will be higher, and you'll need to just kind of address those on a case-by-case basis depending on what it is that you're actually looking for when you buy. But then we also need to take into consideration the tax deduction for this scenario. Okay, so we already did an apples-to-apples comparison on the payment, but now you paid $6,600 in mortgage interest in that first year. You paid $1,500 that year for taxes. When you add that together using a very low tax bracket of 22%, you get a $1,795 tax deduction. Your actual tax rate will vary depending on your income and what tax bracket, and a lot of people are in a higher tax bracket than that. But again, I want to be conservative with this estimate for you. Take that $1,795 divided by 12, that's another $150 per month in savings. So your effective monthly mortgage payment is actually only $1,090 per month. And it comes out to actually be less than rent when I'm trying to compare apples to apples originally on the mortgage payment. And don't forget, remember that $176 drops off in 10 years too. What can you get for $190,000? I don't know. 4 bedrooms, 2 baths, 1,800 square feet in Gilbert. 4 bedrooms, 2 baths, 2,000 square feet in Gilbert. 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, 2,600 square feet in Phoenix. How about 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, 2,100 square feet in Peoria? How about 4 bedrooms, 2 baths, 2,100 square feet in Chandler? And I think you're going to get the idea. There's a lot of homes out there that can be bought for that price, and probably something even cheaper that might meet your needs. You just never know. Here's some other great reasons why a renter would want to become a buyer. Okay, I just showed you how it can save you money, especially when you start figuring those tax deductions and whatnot in there. The other reason is Trulia does a really good job on their blog analyzing the 50 largest cities in America, telling you which places are the best place to rent versus buy. Guess what? Mason, Phoenix, number 4 and number 7. Enough said. Affordability. a lot of buyers that were maybe have been looking, from the beginning of the millennium, from like 2000 to 2007 or so, may not have bought because they felt like they were priced out of the market. Well, home prices have come down. They're back down to the same levels that they were in the mid to late 1990s. So it's a lot more affordable for somebody to buy a house now. So somebody that's been sitting on the sidelines for the last couple of years really should take a look at buying right now, because there really hasn't been a better opportunity to do so. Interest rates have not been this low since the invention of the Federal Reserve in 1913. So they're very, very low. And once you lock in that fixed rate mortgage at 4%, you're protected from inflation and rent hikes. Supply. Right now, there's a lot of choices. I just showed you. I was able to find 9 homes in a matter of 30 seconds online to show you some of the things that you could buy for $190,000. So there's a lot of choices for now. But there's a lot of cash buyers out there scooping up a lot of properties, and the inventory levels has dropped to below 2-month inventory level when it was over 10-month inventory last year sometime. So something to keep in mind, that house you're looking for right now may not be out there this summer. The inventory is shrinking. Negotiating power. Since it's a buyer's market, the seller will often pay all your closing costs, or a lot of your closing costs, and your prepaid escrow items for taxes and insurance, okay? If it's a bank-owned property or a short sale, chances are they're going to pay a portion of your closing costs and prepaid items. If you previously owned and lost your home in a short sale or foreclosure, you still might be able to buy again and you just don't know it. You'll need to call me and ask, especially if you have not missed any mortgage payments going into and coming out of your short sale. Chances are you might qualify for another FHA loan. You'll have to call and find out. Here's another one that you can't put a price on. Homeownership is a place of your own and a place to put your own stuff, and I cannot put a price on that. The other thing is, someday home prices will go up again. Real estate has always been a smart investment because everybody needs a place to live. And then obviously you save on your taxes, okay, which then rolls into the whole theme of saving money overall versus renting. Right here, what I've got is a little matrix that shows you some of the different waiting periods that people might have if they had a foreclosure or a short sale or a bankruptcy, okay, depending on the type of loan that they might be able to qualify for, okay. You can see that for Fannie Mae, for instance, if you had a foreclosure, they're going to make you wait 7 years before you can get another Fannie Mae loan. But FHA only makes you wait 3. And if you're a veteran, you only got to wait 2, okay. Short sale, everybody's got some different rules here. Again, if you look at Fannie Mae, it will limit you based on the loan to value. So you may have to put a bigger down payment than others who have not had a short sale. And on the FHA, well, they say 3 years from completion date, treating it like a foreclosure. However, there was a mortgagee letter that came out not long ago, I want to say about 2 years ago, that said under certain circumstances, and one of those main circumstances is if you did not miss any payments on your mortgage going into and coming out of your short sale, okay? And then there's some bankruptcy waiting periods here. So 4 years for Fannie, Freddie, 2 years for FHA and VA on the Chapter 7s, and then they've got, they've kind of followed the filing date on Chapter 13 when it comes to that. But those are on a case by case. If you have one of those, please give me a call and I'm happy to explain any of that to you. So the question now is, what are you really waiting for? Stop throwing your money away on rent when you can own for less, and start building your own equity instead of helping the landlord build theirs. Call me today to see what you can qualify for. You never know until you get yourself credit checked and you find out what you can actually qualify for. And I invite you to visit my website at spenceryoungman.com or call and text me anytime, and I'm happy to answer any of your questions. Thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you later.